On the third day, this was created, and it's scary. Oh my goodness. So now, what this film is about, I'm not gonna say what it ends up being about, but I will say that Kaylee guessed it very early on, and I was just like, when she said what tipped her off on that, I was like, oh yeah, I probably should have put that together.
It's so good to like have like me be able to be the one saying I figured something out before you did.
Yeah.
Because more often than not, it's like you call everything, or you're calling it like as this at the same time that I am in my head, but you say it first.
Yeah.
So,
You
this
got
is the
it.
rare
Yeah, I didn't
instance.
catch that at all because I was so focused. Okay, so there's this woman, and she gets in a car accident, and then she wakes up like 3 days later, out in some like barn house. I don't know what the hell it is.
Building thing.
And she comes out and she then tries to recount what the hell happened, where it is. And there's people looking for her, and the cops are involved and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, that's all you really need to know. Okay, this I want to say about this movie. This is currently streaming on Shudder, and this is the most important note I think either one of us will have for this film. This is one of the. This will be a very different review in the sense of like, on Shudder there is no option for a original language track. They only have the dub. I've never seen that before, and man, do I personally think this tremendously hurts what I think is a pretty damn good film.
Yes.
And the acting from the voice actors that they hired to do the dub are typically, like usual, not great. And I don't know if I've ever seen a dub that's excellent. I don't watch a lot of dubs, but when I do, it's usually like, I think we always kind of liken them to the Godzilla films, right? Like that's the thing we always think of when we think of dub, is that
I think of, well, yeah, and I think of anime because like tons of anime are dubbed, but like I'm definitely someone who prefers to watch movies and TV series in their original language, like when at all possible.
Yes.
Because it's so rare to find a really good dub.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that I feel like we've watched a couple of Italian films that have dubs, but they're like, those are sort of different because the actors are speaking English, but they are dubbed over with people who are like native English speakers.
Yeah.
So it's a little different in a way, but I don't know. The dub, it's horrible in this.
It's terrible.
Horrible.
And I think that's to the film's detriment, because I think a lot of people are watching this in only this option, right? So anybody who's watching this on Shudder as it's being presented to us currently, I don't know if you can rent this otherwise, but most people are watching it on Shudder, and I think they're going to take away a worse film than this film is. Now, is this film like 10 out of 10 amazing? No, but I think that it's a film that builds well and ends super strong.
Yes.
And that's something to always praise, when a film is able to build and deliver. And I think that it ends super well. There's some really cool like effects makeup work in here. I'm not going to say anything more about that. I don't want to say anything else. But I think what we do get in that way is really cool. As far as the acting and performances go, I don't know. I would need to see the original language to see, because it's very hard to tell if someone's acting well when I can't hear their vocal performance along with it. Because sometimes something might look weird. Put anything on mute.
Sure.
Right? And watch it and be like, is this good acting? It's hard to tell. Right? So for me, I think it's better
Oh,
I'm almost sure of that. It'd be
Yes.
weird if I watched the the original language and it's worse. And maybe that's why they don't even include it. They're like, man, you think this is bad? Just think
You
of
don't
what
wanna
they
hear
really
these
sound like.
voices.
And maybe it wasn't an option.
Yeah.
Maybe they, this is one of those films like, the Italian giallos of old, where they but in those movies they shot them in English
Right.
and then they dubbed them in English.
Right. It's
This one
different. This is
clearly
yeah,
on here. Look, can you open this up
Yeah.
and see if the original language? Because it should just be back and then down here. Thank you. So this is, I think it's a.
This is incantation.
Oh, that's incantation shit.
I thought it was Spanish.
I think so
But
too.
it could be Italian.
The hell's this movie called? On the third day. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was Spanish.
I think so too. But so it's Argentinian, which is funny because when we were watching it, I had said that the house in it reminded me heavily of the house in Terrified. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's an Argentinian film. A film from Argentina. And
The Argentine.
I was like, I wonder, that would be, what if I looked this up and it actually said,
I wouldn't be. It looks a lot.
languages
like
spoken
it.
Spanish.
Okay,
so I
it's
would love to see the Spanish version.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
Because I think that would be huge. I'm not seeing any trivia. I was hoping it was going to be like, use similar sets, or maybe it's the same director or something. I highly doubt that. I would be like blown away. Anything else you have to say about this movie?
I really liked it. I thought that, like you said, the build up and then the strong ending was great to see, because sometimes films are not balanced in that way. I also really like the atmosphere and the style of the film. We talk about style a lot with movies and how it's either lacking and it brings down a film, or it's very elevated and really improves the quality. And I think that this has a really awesome style throughout, and some really cool takes on, without saying what's going on.
Yeah.
What kind of it happens is unique, and I haven't
it's a
seen
new
it done
take
before.
on this lore.
And yeah, so I was really into it. It's really just the dub. There's one character in this, a priest, who his dub is
So
the
bad.
worst one, and there's a good chunk of time that we spend with him, and I just was I was a little I was disinterested because of the voice acting, which is a shame.
Sure, and I wasn't really sure what to make of this film, but as it went on, I was realizing I think this is actually a good movie.
Yeah,
I feel
know,
this is just kind of getting shit on by its dub, which is so unfortunate.
It is. So you should watch it and give it a chance.
Find it
Find
in
it
its
in
Spanish version
if you can, but if not, watch the dub and just watch past the sounds that you're hearing.
Yeah, I like the way the
So,
film looks.
Yes.
Really, the only real critique I have currently is the dub, and I feel like if I could get a legit Spanish version of the film and watch it, then I could give a more proper review and discuss, maybe even a spoiler discussion of what goes on. That would be cool. So if we ever can get a copy of this in Spanish, I would be totally down to discuss it again in spoilers and talk more about other things that might, because as I said, the acting, all that stuff, I can't really judge. But I do like the payoff, and like she said, with what kind of film it ends up being, they do alter and mess around with the lore connected to that, and in a unique and interesting way that puts a whole new spin on that subgenre. And I love that, right? It's taking something we know and putting a new spin on it. That's always great, because it's impossible to be fully original, but that doesn't mean that you can't make it your own. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, it's on Shudder. Watch it somewhere else if you can, and let us know where you find it. So